I brought up this meme that my man Vince from Minnesota put up, where this guy was holding a cell phone, and then he was surrounded by like 50 other different little electronic devices that are all now in his phone. You know, like alarm clocks and, you know, just a bunch of different things. Engineering studios or whatever, music studios. Another thing you can add to that list, he could actually be standing in a record store. Right. Actual brick and mortar physical record stores are on your phone right now. Think about that. Right. So if you own stock in a record store, man, you need to get out while you still can. You need to get out while you still can. Sell that shit fast. From the Loose Neck side, we have a record store here in Dallas, Arlington, called Forever Young Records, who has it all. I have an entertainment system with a record player, and they play my records at least once a week. All right, so that's cool. So you're like one of those collectors. From Sidney Jackson Doug, this is a particular store, sell more than music. They sell movies, video games, and clothing. All right, so they had to diversify. I get that. Now, that's business. That's what I'm talking about. Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. And I also would guess, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I would also guess that they're called a record store just in name only. Like, they ain't selling no records unless maybe they have some classic vinyl that collectors would come there and get. But they're not, you know, when you mention they sell movies, video games, and clothing, I would guess that they're selling a lot more movies, video games, and clothing than CDs. Matter of fact, I would guess that 99% of their inventory is is movies, video games, and clothing. 1% music. From RC, we still have the Electric Fetus up here in Duluth, Vince. That was the spot to get rap cassettes and albums back in the day. What is Electric Fetus selling? And I've heard of that before. I don't think I've ever been in there, but I've heard of that store. What are they selling? Are they selling CDs? Are they selling CDs? Yeah, that's what I need to know. From Merrill the Intern Scott, he says a lot of spots in Philly buy back your old vinyl and resell them at higher price. Right, that's the hustle. I get it. Kind of like trading cards. They're just trying to buy low and sell high. But it's not because of, you know, people just trying to buy music. You buy your music off your phone. From Loose Neck side, record stores have a lot of old albums that are out of print that you can get or download. What do you mean, or download? Do they have that facet? I was joking about it. Do they have this facet of record stores now where you can go in and download a song from some type of mechanism in the store? I don't know. I don't know when the last time I've been in a record store, to be honest with you. From X Squad, kicking it with Kesey, Moose Music and Little 5 Points has the best R&B neo-soul stuff. Those DJ Jamad mixes were always hot. Okay. Let's see. From BAB, from Sandman, vinyl record sales are actually up. People are appreciating the sound quality a lot more nowadays. A lot of younger people are actually buying them. Huh. It's kind of like an oxymoron. Sound quality for vinyl? Vinyl sounds different. Like, vinyl's got that little popping noise in it. But I wouldn't say a vinyl record is a better quality record than a digital download. I don't know. Maybe because digital downloads are digital. Right. I mean, you're not going to beat digital, mastered, quality records that you download now. You can't get a better sound than what we have today. Now, if you want to if you're feeling, once again, nostalgic, and you want to kind of like put you in the mood of when you were growing up and your daddy used to play records on Saturday afternoon, or your mama used to play records on Saturday morning when she was cleaning up the house, you can put on some vinyl, but it ain't going to sound better than no damn digital shit today. I'm sorry. No, I don't agree with that notion. It sounds different, and once again, it'll take you back, but it can't sound better than what you have today that you download off your phone. From T-Dub, you can digitalize music through the internet. Okay. From Vince Wright, Electric Fetus is a part of the Minneapolis music scene forever up here. Oh, okay. Somebody brought up Turtles. Ooh, you went way back just now. Who brought up Turtles? Southside Rick. Turtles record store used to be the Ish. Yeah, I remember Turtles. So we had Turtles. We had Record Bar. The big one in Charleston where I grew up at, or the area in which I grew up at, it was Record Bar. So Record Bar used to be in the Citadel Mall. It used to be in Northwoods Mall. It used to be in Charlestown Square. What was another mall? Those were probably the three malls when I was growing up. And Record Bar it was huge. And back during that time, it had really moved on from records. And I remember going to Record Bar to buy cassette tapes. And so, man, I ain't seen a Record Bar, heard of a Record Bar, man, in years. They been filed Chapter 13 probably. From X Squad, kicking it with Kesey. Yeah, Loose Neck, I haven't listened in the past 5 years. Used to love all the Afro Mentos. See, my man Kesey is deep into music, in the record industry in Atlanta. From Griff, yeah, vinyl is richer in sound. Digital is more compressed from what I understand. Okay. So I've told this story before. So one of the reasons I moved to Atlanta is, first, I wanted to be an agent. I just wanted to be around the entertainment scene and be in the entertainment industry. And so the reason I moved here is I wanted to become a sports agent. Kind of dibbled in that a little bit, and I didn't like the idea of waiting hand on foot on a damn 21-year-old punk-ass kid. And so in the late 90s, me and a couple of my boys, we started this little bit of independent record company called Number One Records. And so we actually had a couple of groups signed. We were kind of like a management team. We had a couple of groups signed that actually we got CDs and tapes pressed up and all of that stuff. And we did consignment. We had our stuff in like probably, 7 or 8 of the little flea markets here in Metro Atlanta, which was big back during that time when people were pushing the mixed CDs or whatever and tapes. And so I understand, I know a lot of the culture of the music scene in Atlanta because we used to have a route where on the weekend we would switch up and deliver our tapes for consignment. And like the tapes would sell for $10 or whatever a piece. And we, split the profit with whatever flea market store owner that we had our tapes in and CDs in. And so Greenbrier flea market off of Old National. There's a flea market over there in Decatur or whatever, man. I used to be all in and out of them places. Earwax, we used to be up in there. I don't think we had to deal with Earwax. It was just the type of thing where it was an industry place, and people trying to come up in the industry used to be up in Earwax all the time. It's kind of like a hangout. It's kind of like where the industry people went and, hung out, I guess, to a degree. So, yeah, man, I mean, things have changed. Things have definitely changed. Yeah, from RC, yep, Vince, even the cities with a large colonizer population laugh out loud. From Loose Neck Side, yes, sir, Kesey, I got all the DJ Jamad's mixes, and when he mixed Amanda Diva's mixtape. See, y'all really, really going deep with me with this independent record stuff. And see, that's what Kesey does. Kesey is really into the independent music scene here in Atlanta. You should definitely check out Kesey and what he's talking about on the Kicking It With Kesey show. Make sure to do that. From Sandman, exactly, Griff, less compressed, less compressed. You can hear the dynamic range a lot better. Our ears are tricked into thinking louder is better, and the average consumer can't hear or even pay attention to the distortion that may be an actual recording from the mastering stage. I understand what you're saying, but not a lot of what you're saying. You're really going technical with me right now. from Loose Neck High, as an agent, Doug said Kwame Brown would be better than Michael Jordan. Okay, about that whole agent thing, for the record, I never really got to the point where it became a serious thing. So I actually worked for an agent here in town. I'm not going to call his name. I actually quasi-worked on consignment on, I guess what's the word you put it, on a royalty-type basis, recruiting players. So for like 2 years, this particular agent, I was a runner. A lot of people don't know what a runner is. Basically, a runner is, before an agent actually makes full contact with a player, there's a go-between guy, and this is how you basically get into the industry. There's a go-between guy that makes contact with the player, creates a friendship, strikes a friendship with said player, and, sets the groundwork for the agent to come in later. And that's what I did. And, man, I can't even tell you how these kids got their hands out like freaking cups. Couple of kids I had beads on, man. I'd travel from this state to another, I'd make contact beforehand by somebody that I knew in the area or somebody that was associated with the program. I knew a lot of people in college football at the time. Get a phone number, call them, and at this time when they're being recruited or being looked at as somebody that's going to make it to the NFL, it's not uncommon for them to get a call from out of the blue from somebody that possibly wants to represent them down the road. And so I was that dude. I made contact with players, and I, went and saw their games, and I struck up a conversation with them, and I took them out to dinner, breaking the NCAA rules and whatnot. Right. So I'd go, and after the games, I'd wine and dine them and take them out to dinner or whatever. I had a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Of a stipend or whatever to take them out and wine and dine them and just lay the groundwork for the agent to come in, when it was time for that to happen. And man, I just hated how these damn kids talked to me like I was a bitch. They just talk to me like, can you get me this? Can you get me that? Sound like my damn kids. I got kids at home. I ain't running after your old ass. I ain't like that. I'm telling you. And it really, really, very fastly, I don't know if fastly is a word, put a bitter taste in my mouth about being an agent. Like, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a sports agent, okay? And I'd always been told growing up, man, do something that you like and you never work a day in your life, which is actually turned out to be the case with this sports radio stuff. But, I always wanted to stay involved with. I wasn't going to play in the NFL, which I knew that was going to happen. So I always wanted to stay involved with sports in some kind of way. So when I went to college, I thought I was going to be a coach. And then I found out the coaches don't make no money in high school. And then I found out that, I realized in playing football in college that coaches in college, they work 24/7. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. So first I wanted to be a coach. And, high school, they didn't make enough money. College, they worked too damn much. Then I said I wanted to be an agent. And that's why I moved to Atlanta to be an agent. And if I couldn't be an agent, I was going to be, something involved with sports, and entertainment. And next thing you know, here come the 2 Live Stews, and the rest is history. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I kept grinding. The Carolina Panthers got that saying, keep pounding. I kept pounding. Some way, somehow. I was going to make this sports entertainment thing pay off. And the rest is history. 2 Live Stews, Shawty. Doug Stewart Show. Back in 3 minutes.